Hey there, and welcome to the Innovative Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Isolde Trachtenberg. I am going to continue doing this project that I've decided to do on Collaboration Thursdays, and that is that I'm reading the entire Speak From Within book that I wrote to help you engage, inspire, and motivate any audience. And particularly if you have any sort of a public speaking phobia, this book is incredibly helpful. I decided to do this because I kept thinking, I should absolutely do the audiobook. I need to do the audiobook. People have been asking for it and I haven't. And I went, you know what? I'm going to make it free. And if you want to listen every Thursday, you are welcome to do it. The audiobook will be out. I'm going to put it all together, and the audiobook itself will be out all at once when I've finished going through the entire book. But for now, if you want to listen to it and you decide you want to support the audiobook, I would love it. But for now, if you want to just listen every Thursday, come on back and you're going to be able to hear another chapter of Speak From Within, inspire, engage, and motivate any audience. I had a blast writing the book. It's helped so many of my private clients become amazing communicators and amazing presenters that I really finally went, okay, I have to write the book. And the episode is brought to you by Brain FM, as is usual nowadays. It seems to be the sponsoring app of my episodes. And I love Brain FM. It helps me be prolific. It helps me be productive, creative. I use it to meditate. I use it to fall asleep. I use it to wind down. I use it to charge up. It's the direct combination of the best of neuroscience and really cool music that you play while you do these things, and it changes your life. I love it. So, if you decide you want to try Brain FM, go to brain.fm/innovative mindset, and you will get 20% off from me to you. The Innovative Mindset Podcast is proud to be affiliated with Brain FM because I find it so incredibly helpful. And if you do decide to do it, as always, please note, you will get 20% off. I might get a little bit of money from you having used that coupon. And we all come out winners because we all get to be more innovative, more creative, more inspired, and more productive. Alrighty, so here we go. I want to give you Chapter 1, Expression. Try this quick mission. The mission is, I love you. Say the words, I love you 3 times. The first time, emphasize the I. The second time, stress the love. The third time, emphasize the you. Do those changes make what you're saying sound different? What sort of story might you tell with the first one? 2 people are vying for the love of a third, and each is trying to convince her to choose them. The second might be a tale of a romance where a couple has been bickering the entire time until one finally yells, I love you, in frustration. What do you think the third might tell us? Certainly the interpretation is up to the individual person. In my mind, an emphasis on the you indicates that the listener's the one the speaker chose above all others. See what I mean? We get 3 radically different stories with just a bit of different emphasis. A world of information can come through in a rising pitch or an emphasized word. We can see evidence of this immediately by paying attention to common phrases and how differently we can say them. So how we tell our story matters just as much, if not more, than what we say. And that's important because we are all storytellers. Every one of us is a spinner of tales. We are like those elders by the ancient bonfires who taught the people of the village with their voices and their stories. Sure, we do it in different ways and for different reasons, but we all do it. Yet, for many, the idea of telling any story daunts us. We shrink away from self-expression. Oh, no one will want to hear what I have to say, Samantha says to herself. I suck at this stuff, Mike complains. I don't have a talent for writing, speaking, singing, painting, drawing, etc. Deb confides. They've all convinced themselves they will be terrible at speaking in public. Do you want to know what I have to say to that? Bull baloney. Yep, you read that right. Bull baloney. We were born to express ourselves. I mean every word of that last statement. Self-expression is our birthright. What is the first thing we do when we come out of the birth canal? We take a deep breath. What is the second thing? We scream. We express ourselves. Sure, it comes out as a cry or wail, but we announce our presence with authority, to quote another favorite movie from the 80s. And yes, another dozen cookies if you're the first to know which movie. Please note, the person who guessed it a long time ago, since the book originally came out in 2018. We don't wait for an invitation. We don't wonder if anyone wants to hear it. We don't shy away from a thing. We open our mouths and we let it rip. We don't fear it. We just do it. As we get older, that completely irrepressible self-expression gets more limited. And so when I say it's our birthright, that's because I think we all have the right to express ourselves from the very first second we're born. But then we develop language, and we have to figure out how to communicate in such a way that others will take it the way we intend, and our message will achieve its goal. So that expressive birthright becomes more complicated and less effective. We forget that at our core we are communicating beings, but if we remember that fact and apply it, we can transform our lives. Many of us feel like speaking in public is torture, but I'm here to tell you that it can be fun and exciting. You can have a terrific time speaking in front of people, I promise. When it comes to public speaking, one of the things we have lost is that sense of fun and spontaneity. We live in a culture of judgment and immediate evaluation and perhaps even scorn. Instead of support or constructive critique, people expect to be judged and found lacking. But what if things were different? What if instead of expecting and fearing derision, we went in with no expectations whatsoever? What if we left it open to connection? What if we went in with a sense of the fun we were all about to have together? Do you think that set of thoughts might change how our audience receives and perceives us? And more importantly, would that change how we perceive ourselves? Certainly at birth we have no thought of and no way to think about being judged. No infant cares that they're naked. No infant worries about how they might look or sound. They simply exist in that moment, and they express themselves fully and immediately. And with that sort of purity, the vast majority of the people who hear them can't help but reply and do whatever it takes to address the infant's needs. I'm not saying we should scream, cry, or whimper for that attention and engagement. I'm saying we need to be present with those who are about to hear us. If we are present, real, and authentic, we will connect faster and go deeper with anyone who hears us. They will listen because our authenticity will strike a chord within them. And together we'll find that connection to the core of who we are. Therein lies the magic. If we can get there, we can take our audience anywhere we want to go. Why? Because they'll want to come. They will delight in joining us on our journey. We're going to offer them the coolest adventure across the most wondrous landscape, the mystery of our authentic selves, and our innate and thrilling connection to each other. Who wouldn't want to join that expedition? What stops most of us from being that authentic? What keeps us from embarking on the expedition to explore our inner landscape so that we can connect with others on that primal level? If we broke that question down to its basic level, likely it's fear. That is the long and short of it. We are afraid. And if we admit the fear, then let's be courageous enough to ask the follow-up question. What on earth are we afraid of? Take a second and think about it. What is truly the worst that could happen? What if our worst fears about public speaking and communication came true? What would happen then? That was the end of Chapter 1. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you come back next week for Chapter 2. It's all about fear. This is Isolde Trachtenberg. As I said, this book that I'm reading to you every Thursday is my book, Speak From Within. You can buy it on Amazon. You can buy either an ebook version or the paperback, or you can come back every Thursday and listen to me read every last chapter and it's going to be turned into an audiobook at the end that's only going to be available on my website, isoldet.com. If you're enjoying this and the other episodes of the podcast, I would be so honored and thrilled if you would leave a review of the show wherever you listen and or comment. Tell me what you think about the book. Tell me what you think about the notions around public speaking and communication that I explore in it. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, this is, again, Isolde Trachtenberg reminding you to dream big and dare all.